Alright guys, this will be another like Salt Supply S2 versus Byrna SD, but I have a Chrono now. So I'm going to use a Crossman 12 gram in this guy, and then the first magazine will be Byrna Kinetics, which are 2.9 grams, but they have a slightly larger bore size. And then same thing, this is a stock Byrna SD, same with the Salt Supply, it's all stock. And 8 gram cartridge because I don't have the XL boost. And first magazine will be Byrna Kinetics also. So the Byrna Kinetics, the bore size of the ball, if you're not familiar, is 0.684 or 0.685. The second magazine that I'm going to load in both of these is these Riot Ball Jawbreakers. They're kind of a small bore, like 0.680 is probably what they register at on my little paintball gauge checker. And these weigh 3.6 grams, so they're slightly smaller, just a tiny bit, and they weigh more. And these have a larger bore size, but they weigh less, usually 2.9 grams. Anyway, I'm gonna need the Chrono, I'm gonna pop these, and then I'm just gonna shoot the box. So give me 1 second. All right, I got my salt gun, I got the Chrono Salt Supply, and I'm gonna puncture this. So it has gas, it's ready to roll. Here we go, Byrna Kinetics and Crossman 12 gram cartridge. 346, 334, 332, 330, 326. I'm going to pause the video really quick. All right, I got the Byrna SD, my Chrono. I'm gonna charge this right now. So yeah, same balls, the Byrna Kinetics. Here we go. $290, 286, 280, 274, 268. All right, you guys. So I have the those black Jawbreaker Riot balls in here. So these weigh a little bit more, 3.6 grams. This is the same CO2 cartridge, and I also have the Byrna right next to me with the same CO2 cartridge in that one. So this is basically shot 6 through 10 on the same CO2 cartridge. 318, 318, 302, 296, 282. So I'm probably just gonna shoot the rest of the rounds off camera on the Salt Supply, whatever's left, probably like 4 more shots. Here's the Byrna SD, same CO2 cartridge. I'm using those 3.6 gram black Jawbreaker balls. 254, 248, 242, 240. That was 240. My finger popped off the button. Last shot. 232. So I only have Mr. Fizz 8 gram CO2s for the Byrna. I probably won't get any other ones because it's the weakest launcher I have. And I probably won't get the XL boost for it either because the Salt Supply is just, overall, it's just, it performs really well. And like, it is bigger because these are, basically these handles are like right next to each other. And it's hanging over a little bit on the Byrna, the back of it. but the front of the barrel, you can see the difference. So this is kind of as even as I can get them. If I go back of the barrel lined up with each other, the handles don't really align very good, and that gap in the front is less pronounced because this hangs over a little bit more on the Byrna. It has more of a swoop on the back, protruding out the back. It is nice because it has that single hand operation. It's the most expensive like pistol launcher I have. This is almost $400. I got it as a gift 2 years ago, and I bought this. If you've seen in my previous videos, this can shoot through these really thick plastic containers I have. These things, these are like 60-gram polyethylene containers, and they can shoot through. The Assault Supply S2 can shoot through those really easily, like almost every shot. This one doesn't shoot through them unless I hit a previously hit spot. So I never had this shoot through the bottle on a brand new area that hadn't gotten shot before. It only went through that plastic bottle whenever I hit a spot that had previously been hit by this marker. So yeah, you can see the difference in the chronograph readings. I'm gonna use a Daisy cartridge on this, and then I'm gonna use a Umarex cartridge on this and see the FPS readings. I would do that for this, but I only have Mr. Fizz CO2 cartridges for this, so I can't really compare the CO2 numbers. But for this one, I just use Crossman, so now I'm going to use Daisy, and then I'm going to use Umarex. So give me 1 second. Alright, you guys, so this is the Daisy CO2 cartridge. I'm going to load this in the Assault Supply S2, and then I'm going to start firing, and I'm going to be using the Byrna kinetic rounds for all 10 shots. So yeah, just give me 1 second. Take this over here. And I have my chronograph with me right here. I'm just gonna do 10 shots in a row. No pauses in between or anything. In the previous test firing, there's probably like a minute or two in between shooting the second magazine and the first magazine. So anyway, Assault Supply S2, Daisy cartridge, Daisy CO2 cartridge, and Byrna kinetics inside here. So the marker's charged. I'm gonna start firing. 334. 330. 324. 316. 316. I'm gonna load the second magazine and start firing again right now. 308. 302. 302. 292. 288. I think it's pretty much out. I might have been able to get like one more magazine out of that, but it would obviously been a lot lower on the FPS. So yeah, you can get 15 shots out of the Assault Supply S2 on one cartridge. But after the 10th shot, it seems to go under 300 feet per second. I'm going to pause it really quick. Alright guys, I got my Assault Supply S2. I have a Umarex CO2 in there. This is kind of cold now since I've already shot like 30 shots through it. Basically those other two CO2 cartridges have been shot through this, and there's only been like a 1 minute or 2 minute gap in between shooting, so the internals are cold. But I just want to see if these CO2 cartridges are more consistent than Crossman, and like what a high number was. But I might have to try this on a different day and use the CO2s in a different order instead of using Crossman first, I'll use the Umarex first, or I'll use the Daisy first. So anyway, I'm gonna start shooting. Same rounds, the Byrna Kinetics. This is charged now. I just punctured it, so here we go. 320, 314, 312, 310, 300. I'm going to switch magazines. So I feel like this FPS decrease is because the CO2 chamber is cold. So here we go. 298, 294, 290, 294, 290. So even though this is cold and it's on its like last couple shots with that CO2 cartridge, and it's the third CO2 cartridge I put in here, it's still hitting harder than the Byrna SD. That one still had about 8 shots, probably 5 good ones. But yeah, it's also, sorry, is a motorcycle, super loud motorcycle. So anyway, Salt Supply S2 is definitely stronger than the Byrna SD, and the Byrna SD is still a good option if you, especially if you live in an area where you can use pepper balls and stuff. I would definitely pick up either one. This is nice because it's more like a real firearm where it has the drop down magazine. Salt Supply, like, I don't have any like brand loyalty to anybody. Like, I just pick up whatever I see on other people's videos and stuff. But this, the magazine's under the barrel and it has to be on safe to eject it. So this is on safe right now. So it's already ejected, but to eject it, the magazine basically loads underneath the barrel, which for me was not hard to get used to, because for a while I wasn't like practicing with my Byrna. Maybe the past like 5-6 months I've been using this a lot more often. And then I bought this in like February, I believe, of this year. So I've had this for about 3 months and I like it a lot. But yeah, it's small. The Byrna is smaller and it costs more. You can get like this and like 3 magazines and like a bottle of rounds. Some other YouTube guys have like free promo codes where you can get a free 18 count pack of rounds for this for free from the Salt Supply website. And yeah, these are $25 each. This is $230. So you could get a total of 4 magazines, because when you buy this for $230, you get 1 magazine with it. You could buy 3 more magazines for an additional $75. So your total would be like $305. If you pay taxes or whatever in your state, you have to pay tax, but you can get this for $305 with 4 magazines, or you could buy this for $380, and I believe you get 2 magazines for $380. And yeah, so either one's a good choice. I like the power of this. If you're not used to having to like pierce a CO2 on the bottom, that could be kind of challenging, but I wasn't accustomed to either of them. Like, I had more practice with this one, obviously, but I don't mind piercing this, because you could still do this one-handed if you were like getting held up or something, or you only had one of your hands available and it just happened to be the arm that's where your Salt Supply is holstered, or wherever your hand could reach. You could easily pierce this, like hit someone from behind, pierce it on them. It pierces pretty easily. So you can do this one-handed. You just have to have it loaded already, and then you have to, take it off safe. So yeah, you can do this one-handed, just like this one, because this one handed, you I have a new CO2 in here. I don't really want to shoot it, but yeah, you could pull this trigger and then it'll be ready to go and charged. Or you can have it on fire and pull the trigger, and that first shot will be like kind of low, but it'll fire on the first time. Instead of going safe, pulling the trigger, going on to fire, then start shooting, you can do a first shot on fire non-pierced cartridge, because when you pull this trigger, there's a little needle that pops the CO2 cartridge. So yeah, they're kind of the opposite. CO2 goes in here on the Byrna, and CO2 goes in the handle on the Salt. And then the magazine, the balls load up in the handle of the Byrna SD, and the balls load up in the underneath the barrel of the Salt supply. So they're kind of the opposite. So CO2 here, CO2 here, and then your rounds in here and your rounds underneath here. So yeah, I do like this. I like both of them. This is smaller, obviously, but this has more power. And even when the CO2 cartridge is dwindling down, this is still doing faster FPS readings than this guy at maximum strength. I don't have the LE. I don't think I'm going to buy it, because I could get 2 of these for the price of 1 LE. And until I have some sort of reliability issue with this, which has not happened yet, and I've shot this thing, I probably put like 600 rounds through this, and it's still running fine. So yeah, I have no harps at all about buying this, and I still use this. I still keep it in my EDC kind of like bags and stuff. Either one's nice, and these are like marketed as less lethals. So if you ever had to use it and then you had to go to court or something random like that happens, you can't get away or whatever, you have these as less lethal, and these aren't modded or anything. So if you had like a paintball gun that's modded, or like something else that's not a less lethal, you could have possible like different court actions and stuff taken against you, if that even happens. It's never happened to me. I've never had to use these, luckily. But yeah, it's just other things to consider. Anyways, you guys have a good one, and if you haven't bought any of these, you can make your own choice. But I do like this. This is nice too, like I just said. So yeah, have a good one. It's getting weak. third magazine. Yeah, it's out of gas. So yeah, you can see the difference in the drop off and the Byrna. That was 3 magazines with the Byrna, and by the third magazine they were barely getting 200 FPS, and the third magazine with assault, the last one was weak, but everything else was just above 200 feet per second. So yeah, there's a difference. But I mean, you are using a 12-gram CO2 with the salt supply, and you're using an 8-gram CO2 with the stock Byrna SD, and you have to buy the XL Boost attachment thing to be able to use a 12-gram cartridge. So yeah, there's differences. That XL Boost is $50. So if you buy the XL thing and the Byrna SD, you're going to be paying like $430 plus tax. So yeah, that's about it.